Hello. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about filters. So, one of the underlying principles of Linux is that every item should do one thing and one thing only, and that we can easily join these items together. Okay? Think of it like a set of building blocks, okay, that we may put together however we like to build anything we want, right? So in this tutorial, we will learn about a few of these building blocks, okay? So a filter. A filter in the context of the Linux command line is a program that accepts textual data and then transforms it in a particular way, okay? So filters are a way of to take raw data, either produced by another program or stored in a file, and manipulate it to be displayed in a way more suited to what we are after. Okay? So let's dive in and introduce you some of them. I won't go into too much details on this. I think they're pretty self-explanatory for the most part. Okay? So I have a file. It's called my sample data. Okay? Let me just cat this. So remember, what is cat? Cat will show you the content of the file, okay? So if we do cat help, sorry, let's just put it this way. Okay, so cat, it's concatenate and print files. This is what we're looking for, okay? It's going to print files for us. So when I do cat my sample data.txt, which is this file, it will show you the content of my file, okay? So we're gonna start with head. Head is a program that prints the first so many lines of its input, okay? By default, it will print the first 10 lines, but we may modify this with a command line argument, okay? So how do you use that? You type head, then the number of the lines that you're going to print and the path to that file, okay? So let's say right now I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay? I'm just gonna let's just get the first 10 ones. So see, I'm just getting the first 10 lines. By default, it will just print the first 10 lines. But as I told you, you can modify this with a command line argument. So you say, okay, head, I just need to print 4 lines of this file. And as you can see, it will just print 4 lines. Okay? Now tail. Tail is the opposite of head. Tail is a program that prints the last so many lines of its input, okay? By default, it will print the last 10 lines, but we may modify this with a command line argument, okay? So let me just type my sample there. As you can see, it will print the last 10 lines of this file, okay? But I'm gonna say, hey, why don't we just go and print the last 3 lines of that file? I just need the last 3 lines. As you can see, it will print the last 3 lines of that file. The next filter is sort. So sort will, as you know, will sort its input. Nice and simple. By default, it will sort alphabetically, but there are many options available to modify the sorting mechanism, okay? Make sure you check the man page to see everything you may do. So if you do sort man, sorry, I don't think it will do sort man page because there is a command actually that will be run by sort. If you want to, for example, if you just type sort, it's just give me a sec. If you just type sort, then it will give you the options, okay? Like what sort do you need? What kind of options do you need? So you can go with -B, which ignore the leading blanks, -D, which is the dictionary order, -F, which ignore case. There are so many options with sort, so we cannot really get into details because there are so many of them. But just to know, sort will sort the list. So let me just print that file one more time. Okay, see, they're not sorted. It's F, S, M, R, T, so they're not really in order, right? But we want to sort them now. Sort my sample. Now, if you look at the first line, it's A, B, F, C, so they're alphabetically sorted, okay? But as I told you, there are so many options that you can try to use with sort, and it will show you the list. So as I told you, ignoring leading blanks, dictionary order, ignore case. So there are so many options that you can use with sort, okay? This is it for sort. Now we are going to talk about NL. NL stands for number lines. So NL, okay? Just type it here, NL, okay? So it will number lines. What do I mean? Just type NL, my sample data. See? It will add numbers to your input now. Okay? But here's the thing. The basic formatting is okay, right? But sometimes you're after something a little different. With a few command line options, NL is happy to apply. So for example, let's say, I'm gonna explain to you what I mean by this, but let's just first type it, -S. -W. Okay, so what did I do just now? And here's the only output that I try. Okay, see the difference? The dots here. So in this example, we have used two command line options, okay? The first one, -S, it specifies what should be printed after the number, like after the number we have here. I'm gonna say, okay, what else? You need the number, and what do you need to be printed after the number? I'm gonna say dots, okay? The second one, -W, specifies how much padding to put before the numbers, okay? For the first one, we need to include a space as part of what was printed because spaces are normally used as a separator character on the command line. We needed a way of specifying the space was part of our argument and not just in between arguments, okay? So in this way, we did it by including the arguments surrounded by quotes. Because if you just type this and no -W, let's see what happens. See, you have to tell it what's the width. What should I do now? Once you do dash W. For example, let's look at when you add dash V, it starts with 10, 11, 12, so it starts with 10 instead of you type dash N. Actually, there's a number. You should add the format here. Never mind. So the next command is WC. WC stands for word count, and it does just that. Okay. Let's say how many of what? Let's just print that. Okay, I've got 12, 36, and 197 my sample data.txt. Okay, wait, what is that? Sometimes you just want one of these values, okay? If you need just a line, you just type dash L and my sample data. And it will print, okay, W. I mean the number of the lines. WC dash L. There are 12 lines in that folder, in that file, sorry. But let's say how many words there are in that. There's 36, okay? And how many characters are in that file? 197, okay? So that's how it shows to you that the way that you can actually search for the number of lines, number of the words, number of characters. Okay. The next command that we're going to talk about is cut. Cut is a nice little program to use if your content is separated into fields, columns, let's say, and you only want certain fields from that file. Okay. So in our sample file, we have our data in 3 columns, right? As you can see, I have column name, the name of the fruit, and the numbers. So I have 3 columns, as you can see, okay? Let's say we only want the first column, okay? I just need to print the first column. I don't care about the second column. I don't care about the third column. What I need to try is cut -f, which is for field 1, and the delimiter is space. Okay. Oh, what just happened here? What did I do? Cut defaults to using the tab character as a separator to identify fields, okay? So in our file, we have used a single space instead. So we need to tell cut to use that instead, because there is a space between these 3 columns, okay? So I'm telling cut, use space in this case, okay? The separator character may be anything you like. For instance, in a CSV file, the separator is typically a comma, right? There could be a comma here. If there's a comma here, you put comma. If there was dot, you put dot here. Okay? So this is what the D option does. We include the space within single quotes, so it knows this is part of the argument. We know like this is part of the argument here. Okay? The -F options allows us to specify which field or fields we would like. Okay, if we wanted 2 or more fields, then we separate them with a comma, as I'm typing it right now, so you can see. I need the second field also as well. See, it will type the second field. I also need the third field. Hey, let's see what happens if I add 4. There's no 4, right? So it will print the field 1, the field 2, and the field 3. Okay? The next command that I'm going to show you right now is set. Set stands for stream editor, and it effectively allows us to do a search and replace on our data. So it is a quite powerful command, but we will use it here in its basic format. Okay. How are we going to use that? It's this s search replace g. Okay. So the initial s stands for substitute and specifies the action to perform. So there are others, but we know we'll keep it simple. So for now, we just go with S. So then between the first and second slashes, we place what it is we're searching for. Okay. Then between the second and the third slash, what is we wish to replace it with. The G at the end stands for global and is optional. Okay. So if we omit Q, then it will only replace the first instance of the search on each line. Okay, so it's not going to go through all the files and replace everything. Once it finds the first line, it will replace it. It will find the file of the character or the word or whatever, and it will replace it for you. Okay, so with the G option, we will replace every instance of search that is on each line. So let's see an example. Say we ran out of oranges. I wanted to instead give those people banana. Okay, this is an example. What do? I say, okay, substitute. I have to type S instead first. Then you type S slash. I want to substitute oranges. Let me just first print the file for you. A sample. See, there are oranges here. Okay. But what I'm trying to do now is set S oranges. I cannot type here. Oranges. Okay. With bananas. Let me just not type the G command for now. Okay. One sample. As you can see, there was an orange and it got replaced by banana. But hey, we have another oranges somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, so it got replaced by bananas, and got replaced by oranges. Okay. We want to replace oranges by, let's say, kiwi. Okay. It got replaced by that one. Okay. Please remember, it's important to note that said does not identify words but strings of characters. For example, let's run this. Oranges with SE. See oranges here? Got replaced by SE. So what the search term is also actually something called a regular expression, which is a means to define a pattern, similar to wildcards we looked at in the previous videos. So first we had this file. Let's see. Let's just clear the screen so it will make you confused. So we had one oranges here, and oranges here. Okay. Straight by SE. And let's just do this now. Let's replace SE by oranges. That would be funny to see. See? Nothing got replaced. Why? Because it includes, it's here. See, SE is included in this word. So that's why it doesn't really do anything. Okay? But let's just do then we have oranges instead of, and we have oranges here. Okay? So the next command I'm going to talk about is unique. Unique is, which is UNIQ. Unique. Okay? It stands for, its job is to remove duplicate lines from the data. Okay, if there are any duplications, it will remove that for you. One limitation, however, is that those lines must be adjacent, one after another. Okay, sometimes it's not the case, but we'll see one way we can fix this in where we go and talk about piping and redirection. So let's go to that file that I have right now, my sample data text. Okay, let's just add Susie oranges 5. Then I have Robert per 4. So see, we have duplications right now. So, oops, sorry. I had to do sudo. I forgot. Control sudo. Okay. So let's just type Susie oranges 5 Robert pears 4. So as you can see, there are duplications, right? So when I type cat here, you see there are duplications here and duplications here. Okay. Now let's run unique. See? No more duplications. It gets rid of all the duplications for us. And their last one is, which is funny to me, it's like Linux guys are known for having a funny sense of humor, right? So the program tac, do you remember cat? It will print something for you, right? Now tac is usually a cat in reverse. Okay? So it was named, this is add as it does, the opposite of cat. Okay? So let's just compare them. It starts with Fred, then Susie, then Mark, and now let's just do tag, my sample. Actually, because I'm using Mac, it doesn't have that. Let me see if it has it. Just give me a sec. It's definitely on Linux because I'm using Mac, that's why. Because it's a Linux command. I'm using my MacBook right now, so that's why it might not show you the command. But I can show you on my Give me a sec. I'm just let me just restore. So maybe our sample file is generated by writing each new order to the end of the file, okay? As a result, the most recent orders are at the end of the file. So we would like it the other way, so that the most recent orders are always at the top, right? Which makes sense. We'll do this. Okay. Let's just type, clear this one. If we just tag, see, tag is included in this file. So let's see, I just go to cat and it shows Nova, RabbitMQ, everything right at the end, right? But let's just go and do this. Tag. So now everything is in reverse. It will show you the reverse now. Or I should find a better example, but because this is a huge file. But just to know, like tag is basically this is cat, it's which prints the file for you, and tag is the reverse of the file. Okay, so it will just reverse it for you. Okay. Try to practice these at your spare time. Let me just shut down this VM. So try to practice it at your spare time. Do man page for set. It will show you exactly what it is. Stream editor. Set the utility reads the specified file or standard input of the files are specified, modifying the input as specified by a list of commands. The input is then written to the standard input. So it will give you a very great definition about set, how to use it. See, it's a very big one, right? It's very powerful and it's very big. So in my next tutorial, I'm going to talk about awk, A-W-K, which that's also very powerful, okay? And it does a lot of fun stuff, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. Please subscribe and watch my other videos. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Thank you, guys.